Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where we need to start talking about how we're going to actually win this game. I think we've made a lot of good, proximally valuable plays so far, but it's all been tactics. I have no strategy. So let's talk about strategy. Let's just go down the victory conditions. We'll start over here and we'll just walk them back. A quest victory, and I guess in here we can roll the wonder victory in here too, because both of these require us to finish our faction quest completely. These two seem unlikely to me because we've been stuck on this thing for a really long time. Like we're way behind quest pace. This is only step 4, and there's like 7 or 8 chapters to each faction quest. Now, it's possible that we will be able to accomplish all of the stuff following this quickly. It's not completely impossible that we could get the quest victory. I think the wonder victory is probably out of reach, because we're just not, we're not good enough at building stuff. We're nowhere near good enough at building stuff. But realistically, I think those two quests or those two victory types are probably off the table for us. A supremacy victory requires you to reign over 5 capitals. Now, I'm noticing here that everybody on this list is recorded as having 1, while purple is reported as having 0. But this can't be correct, right? Because either I or green has purple's original capital. So shouldn't one of us have a 2? You must reign over 5 capitals. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that this victory condition was be the only person who has your original capital. But maybe I'm remembering how military victories work in Civ or something. Anyway, this is possible. We could smash things up. We're going to have to obviously get our army all buffed up and ready to roll, which is a big part of what this episode is going to be. The scientific victory, I do not think we are doing super well on science pace. We've done a lot of 5-turn researches and stuff, but it's not impossible with our better influence income and the fact that we actually have friends that we could trade our way up to being competitive on science. Realistically, I think probably we do not have a science victory in us. A diplomatic victory would require us to earn 2,500 diplomatic points, which is remarkably easy, actually, some of the time. There's some weird stuff going on with the diplomatic victory because of the fact that it basically just allows you to convert influence directly into a victory currency, but the way you have to do it is kind of strange. It's not impossible that we could win a diplomatic victory. Diplomatic victory is mostly just about getting enough influence and having at least one other player be your friend, and then from there you can negotiate a series of trades that gets you the required 2,500 diplomatic points. But I'll be honest with you, this isn't where I'd like to go. It's possible that this will be available to us, but I think that expansion and economic victory are maybe a little bit more in our wheelhouse. Obviously, we're producing a fair amount of dust right now, but the economic victory requires an earning of 666,000 dust since the beginning of the game, and at any number that only has 4 digits in it, you're going to be a little hard-pressed to make that work. So, we're going to have to see our dust income go up tremendously. We need to have 60 times our current dust income for 10 entire turns. 11 entire turns, really, to win the game at that. So, it's possible. It's possible we could push up. I mean, you all saw what happened with the rate of research in the previous game. And you can do that same thing with dust. You can start getting those higher level bonuses all stacking up together and producing really a huge amount of money. Possible, but if we want to do it, we have to take more land. I'm certain of that. And that kind of dovetails with maybe we could win an expansion victory. Now, 29 is a lot of regions. We currently have 8. Even if we were to completely wipe out green, take all their stuff, we're still only a little over 50% of the way there. We'd have to find another 13 regions. We could take all of red stuff. I mean, all the players together just barely have... Actually, no, all the players together only have 24 regions. Well, as far as we know. Right, there's a blue player whose stuff we don't know about yet. Alright, well, you know what? At this time... there's been some talk in the comments sections about securing vision, and frankly, I was busy and influence starved, basically the entire game up to now, and also probably would not have actually been able to make use of the vision. But at this point, getting a map exchange with a player who's bound to the sea is probably worth doing. Unfortunately, this is going to have some costs. And yeah, we can We can pay these costs with the help of our Silix. What do you want from me exactly? We definitely don't need to give him a favorable deal here. He likes us well enough already. Let's just see what the Alayi and their ships have seen. Okay, almost everything. That's kind of what I figured. First of all, the first thing I'm noticing here is that Pink owns all of the water. There are no ocean regions owned by anybody except Pink. In fact, I believe this is the only fortress in the entire world that they don't own at this moment. Unless there's a sneaky... This is a different ocean region from this. There's a border, so there might be a sneaky fortress hidden down here that we could just, like, grab real fast and have our own tiny little ocean region. And we probably ought to check that. We have Shipyard, right? Did I trade for Shipyard? Yeah, I totally did. Okay. Some of these two dredges are probably going to go in the water and deliver us some intel down here. There is a region uncontrolled down here. Blue has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 regions at least. Also, we can see who blue is. This is Forgotten Architecture. Forgotten with an industrial megapole. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure I want to end up at war with the Forgotten. I'll say this. I don't think the Forgotten are that much of a victory threat, because the science victory is very close to impossible for them. It's not actually impossible. You can buy text for dust as the Forgotten. In theory, you could generate enough. You could steal text from other players and generate enough dust to buy the other stuff you need, and I think you might be able to win a science victory, but I would imagine you probably would win a dust victory beforehand, just trying to generate the amount of money you would need for a science victory. So we have to keep an eye on them, which means we need to formally meet them, because I need to see where they are on the charts here. So we're producing more dust than everybody else. We are unremarkably getting out-scienced pretty badly, although, honestly, I'm not doing that poorly, considering I haven't really focused on science. I mean, this stuff does not hugely matter. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're planning to wipe out green, both to eliminate a victory threat and to bolster our economic progress. And then from there, we'll see what it looks like. If we did take all of green's stuff, that's an awful lot of extra land for us to generate money from. We'd still be pretty far from an expansion victory. So we have 8 regions, they have 8 regions. 16, if we claim this and this, we're at 18, 19, 20, 21, and then we still need 8 more regions. We'd have to take all of the unsettled land on the planet, and also wipe out green, and more than wipe out one other player, right? We have to take another player's entire empire, and then still get some stuff from somebody else too. That is it's a possibility. I don't know, it might end up being the fastest way to win. It just doesn't feel very good. So, while we're talking about victory conditions, things that potentially might occur here, let's talk about how the AI might win. We haven't played enough games with the community patch at this difficulty to have a good sense of the AI's victory speed, the general victory speed. We know we saw a game won at 118, but that could still be anomalous. It was just one data point. So, like, who's where on stuff? Nobody's anywhere on an economic victory, really. An expansion victory is going to be very difficult for any of the other players to win because they probably would need our land. So, like, a science victory is something I guess I'm worried about. They have a lot of technologies, but their science output is only a little over double my own. And really, like, realistically, only red and green could win this victory type, right? We can't see blue on this graph, but they're forgotten. They're not realistically a threat. And then, like, we gotta pay attention on the dust victory, but I'm already tied with the highest AI on dust. I guess this is a place where blue's line matters. We can't see what blue's at. But my guess is that we will get ahead of everybody on dust. Nobody could win a dust victory faster than we could, is my suspicion. So, if we can just make sure that red and green can't science out, then probably that puts us in a pretty good place. We don't have to run fast. We just have to run faster than everybody else, right? Alright, so let's talk about strategy. We gotta get our army shored up. We have to be ready to go on green. Also, if we're primarily concerned about generating dust and less concerned about the expansion victory, then maybe allying up with Pink. Honestly, Pink's a good friend for an expansion victory too, because we know they'll never take any land away from us. I was just thinking we could try to make good friends with Pink and then get them to actually declare on green when we declare on green, and that they could first of all distract Green's armies a little bit, split them up so we can fight half of them at a time, and secondly actually burn some of these cities and damage Green's potential to win the game. And if Green does just wipe them out, then we take care of it from Green eventually. And then we have an awesome city, and we didn't have to destroy a player who is friends with our other friend, right? Like, attacking Pink has some significant diplomatic penalties. We gotta meet Blue. I have to send a unit over to Blue. You know what? The water might be a good way to do that. Oh, also, there's an unowned region down here. So that could figure in. You know, if we took out red and green, we'd be pretty close to an expansion victory. That's a lot of fighting. But it would also basically guarantee that we would win, because purple and pink are both non-threats for victory at this point, and blue is the only other player we'd have to worry about then. I'm just like, hey, if we just wiped out two other players on the highest difficulty setting that this game currently has available, then it would be easy to win. Yeah, alright. Okay, so what else are we doing here? We are producing a lot of science buildings over the next turn. Emaroya is going to be a place where we build a lot of troops. Guiron is going to be a place where we build or buy troops. I think we have to keep our influence level quite high, right? We're 10 more turns, 1,500 more dust, so we're looking at ending up around 2,000, which means that, like, this is super available. This is probably available. We might have to tweak our influence gain toward the end, depending on how we want to spend influence to, like, refigure our what do you call it? These things? Words. Assimilation. It's right there on the screen. I still couldn't think of it. Because, you know, it might be worth it to drop the Silix in favor of these guys. I don't know. You know what? You can go through an awful lot of strategics awfully quickly while building a new army. Maybe we'll just hold on to the Silix for a while. And then, do we want to make actual friends? They are trusting because we have a common friend. How expensive is actual friendship? Not really that expensive. We dip into the big supply of titanium here that we have that we don't need. Here's a question. Do I want to give them more titanium than is necessary here? Because any amount of titanium is the same amount of influence. In order to secure a little bit more positivity, or should I try to save as much titanium as possible for the purpose of selling it? The low-level strategics are currently not super valuable. At least I'm fairly sure that's correct. Yep, sell price of 3.8 for each of them. The thing is, like, if I give him everything, what did that look like? That's not even that much. Not even that much extra value on the trade. I'm not sure that this secures us a diplomatic bonus. I'm just going to give him exactly what he wants. Yeah. Okay. So we are probably going to have to devote a few extra people toward influence at some point during this this process to make sure that we can get to the 2160 that we want. And we could do that pretty much anywhere. Right, a lot of these smaller cities are not making a huge amount of dust for us. They could just be making influence instead. And we don't lose that much from that. Right? Yeah, it's like 50. We're paying 50 dust per turn for 13 influence per turn, which is not an awesome rate of conversion, but, like, you don't have a lot of ways to trade stuff for influence. And then we have 233 dust left, and we probably should not pass the turn with all this dust in our pockets. So, what could we do with it? We could buy luxuries. Let's talk about what luxuries are available, what we could use. If we bought 19 wine, we could gain 30 approval, which I think, yeah, at this point is significant. Wine is usually significant. How feasible is that? Oh, that's extremely feasible. Somebody is offloading wine to the market at an incredible rate here. Let's buy ourselves a little boost. I know we're currently mining wine. We're mining it slightly slower than replacement rate, and we're planning to gain land soon, so we're probably going to have to get used to buying wine. But that's nice. It's an extra 15% dust output. Well more than pays for the dust that we had to spend to buy the wine. And then we are out of money, so I probably should not look at this anymore, but I think we have enough money to... Nope, we are very, very slightly short of buying a building. But I could sell, like... I could sell a small amount of titanium or something. Let's just get the library out. Okay. Trying to do my best to make use of all of our incoming resources as efficiently and effectively as possible. So now, one final concern before we end the turn, a blistering rate of 15 minutes per game turn here, is do we want to take these right away? Do we want to get on this? Now that we have formal peace with Pink, he won't attack us if we move across his oceans. So maybe we should send some people over here to grab these. There's gold and 2 moonleaf deposits on this island, which is peopled by Hernas. Hernas, which might actually be worth assimilating come wartime. Plus 15% attack would be alright. I don't already have any Herna villages, do I? No, okay, so it would be 15%. Still, 15%, pretty good. Here we have some gold and some titanium and maybe more stuff, because this whole landmass is not visible. Or rather, not all of this landmass is visible. And they have Nidya, and then over here, titanium and grass silk, which is pretty good. And keep in mind, we can't see the top level strategics and stuff yet. How many turns are we from having full vision? We are 1 turn away from having full vision of resources. Okay. Well, if we were going to go for an expansion victory, it's really important that we take these so that purple doesn't take them, because once purple has them, it will be awkward to get them. But also, we're already having approval problems due to our expansion. But also, territory. Right? Territory's good. I don't know. I also don't know if this borough is actually worth building. Like, it would level up our district here. So this is +5 approval in this city, which is actually going to take us over a line, but also as we gain ownership, we're going to go over a line here. And we actually only, we gain 5 industry. I was about to say we only gain a little bit of stuff, but 5 industry is pretty good. Plus the level up bonus of a district being an extra 2 dust, 2 science, and 2 influence. I think maybe we should skip that for right now. We should focus on getting troops out, because we're kind of under time pressure here, and 5 industry relative to our current level of industry probably isn't going to have a huge effect, especially since we're going to be doing some of our troop production with dust on top of that. Yeah, we're going to go straight into building the units here. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Let's get resource vision over here, and then we'll determine whether we want to make the big move. You know, I'm not honestly sure if this stuff gets updated in real time. Let's keep an eye on it. Because it may be that we only know about resources that were visible to the people who saw the land when they saw the land. Somebody just built an alchemic institute. Well, nothing new appeared. So I'm not sure. They might... Oh. All of a sudden, we have gained more vision without anybody going over here, which means that... Yep, okay. Which means that purple already has units out here. Okay, well, expansion might be a tricky one. I'd hate to have to turn on purple for it. So we've located 2 sources of Hyperium and a mithrite deposit in the same region. That's very strange. I mean, volcanic regions, right? They're supposed to have more strategics. That's pretty wild. And also a single source of tier 3 luxuries. It's not even a good luxury. It is plus health regen on units that are in cities. Not awesome. Looks like none of the regions that we had previously seen. Oh hey, it's quest Scoros. Do we have this quest? There's a quest that you can get to... It spawns a Skoros, and then you defeat him and get the design for him, I believe. It's not my quest. So we could kill Skoros to prevent somebody else from accomplishing that quest, and also we'd get XP for it, obviously. I don't know. Maybe worth doing. So Calch is pretty good. We do need governors. Let's talk about governance. I was kind of hoping to see a Kapaku governor, because if I remember correctly, Kapaku have some pretty good skills for boosting volcanic tiles. No such luck. Alright, let's get the dredge out here. Let's get out into the water. Need more intel on what's going on in this water, and apparently nobody else can provide it to me. I suppose we could do a map exchange with Pink. That looks like it might be annoying to... Yeah, that's going to be either resources I actually want or a couple of resources, and they probably don't know. They probably don't know much that Purple didn't know. They probably have a pretty good view of this stuff, but I don't think I care. I don't think I care enough to spend on it. And then you guys can go over here with the intention of fighting that minor faction army there for some dust next turn, because why not? They're not getting a whole lot accomplished over here, and it's on their way toward the front anyway. And then we have... Definitely want to pick up Brigade System and Signal Corps. And the Rare Metal Foundry is also very valuable, what with us having Silix already assimilated. We could suddenly get an awful lot of rare metals. But I'm wondering if we want to pick up Endless Mechanisms first. The movement speed on the roads is unlikely to be super valuable to us because, of course, we are already... all of our units really are already at the front. But you can get an awful lot of quick strategics from that sweep of all the ruins. And also XP. Yeah, let's go ahead and pick up Endless Mechanisms. We're also going to queue up... No, I'm not going to queue up anything else. We're going to get Endless Mechanisms, and then we're going to figure stuff out. So, we still need vision into Green's lands. Knowing the shape of Green's empire isn't really helpful. Like, we already kind of knew what Green was holding. What I need is to try to take the temperature of their armed forces situation here. Defeat an avenging army for 30 Quicksilver. Well, it will probably be very, very easy to defeat this army. In fact, so easy that I'm going to auto it. 41 dust from XP, and then also 30 Quicksilver that we can totally sell, because I have very little use for Quicksilver. And I'm gonna make Green actually kick me out of their territory if they want me to leave. They can't attack us for quite some time. But yeah, still the same troops we're familiar with. These cities look valuable. And this one's pretty well defended, but Glenda isn't. Although the longer we wait before redeclaring on them, the less true that is going to become. Guiron here needs to focus on putting what little industry it can into troops, and we will, of course, be using dust to rush them, but that is not a top priority. Like, we don't need to rush these troops right now. Horlocken is pretty devoted to influence and will stay pretty devoted to influence, which means not a bad place to build a national arena. City selection is, like, weirdly sticky right now. I can't click out of the city. It's weird. I wonder if I accidentally changed a setting somewhere? Alright, I think that's it. So obviously we're just going to run around and search ruins, and then Endless Mechanisms is going to pop, and we're going to search the ruins again. You guys all have good, useful stuff to do. So, let's talk spending all this dust before we pass the turn. Our approval level right now is at 75%, continuing to grow. We need to keep an eye on the cities here, because once we reach 100% ownership of a city, we're allowed to start removing buildings that already exist in it, and any food buildings that are in these cities should, at that time, probably be burned. Not that we will get a tremendous amount of money back. You know, we're paying some amount of upkeep for them, but not a huge amount. So, Science Lord. Here we have a Craver Slaver. Wait, Necrophage Slaver. Wrong game. Unfortunately, Necrophage is pretty food focused, but like the slave driver skill is always good. The health regen, I would assume, totally works, but obviously this is a commander skill. It does not give health regen to people in the region if the Feeds on Bone was the governor of a city. So really all he has going for him is 24% unit cost reduction. It's not nothing. Well, that and the +3, if we put him in a 3-village region, +3 industry from citizens, which is pretty significant in itself. A worse science governor, influence boost 1 is not strong, and also, in general, I just don't think the Draken are great, although Narrative Master is cool in a big city, and they do get a whole lot of free approval. Strio here has influence efficiency, which makes people more effective when placed on influence, and you can get a bunch of approval and naval cost reduction from these guys. You have to be coastal to get the approval. Basically, also not a strong pick. Horlaken is not coastal. It's not even near coastal. And then here we have Zoya Sprite Slash, who has a food boost, and yeah, it's just generally not relevant. Feeds on Bones, congratulations, you are the best of our not very impressive options. At some point, there will be a refreshing of the hero market. I'm thinking maybe we buy Feeds on Bones and Archipad Bo's Valhalla. Because the Science Lord is not, that's useful. Science Boost 3 is cool. A fair amount of science. And then also, this is good. You can get an expansion disapproval reduction. It's an okay governor. It's certainly better to have a governor than not have a governor, right? Somebody's got to hold all these books. Although, Broken Lord governors are at a premium for us because of the fact that they can wear the circlet, and of course, there are no Broken Lord governors available. Well, what we could do instead of buying governors right now, since all of our governor options are kind of mediocre, is just focus on building army units and also dust depositories. We have a lot of cities where people are dust focused. Naval is in a city with pretty impressive population. A dust depository here is no-brainer. Yeah, you know what? Let's spend all of our dust for the next couple of turns, or at least a lot of our dust for the next couple of turns, on building up dust depositories. You know what? These islands are not critical to me because if we're going to win an expansion victory, we have to go to war with a third player anyway already. And if we're going to war with a third player and we take all of this territory, then an expansion victory is not hard to win at all. But I think the dust victory is looking like the more likely option. We'll have to see. Alright, we have 360 dust left. We should definitely keep pushing stuff. This city could be pushed to Fervent, which would be pretty cool. That's pretty cheap to do. And then, let's buy... Nope, even Koch population is too expensive. That would be 350. I mean, we can make that happen. We can make ourselves a little bit of money, right? We have some things to sell. Wow, we actually have a lot of this to sell. And then, I don't really value the Quicksilver very much. You know what, though? Because of the fact that we are getting dust from our XP, popping the Quicksilver booster, letting Quicksilver build up for the next 7 turns so that we have a booster's worth, and then popping it right as we go into battle, actually could result in a fair amount of extra dust. Some of those big battles, like the battle we had against 5 of Green's units, we did get 400 dust out of that. And I assume that the dust, we would get double dust if we got double XP. Yeah, alright, maybe we'll hold on to this stuff. The die is still running, right? Yeah, although we're gonna end up having to buy a bunch of die soon. How much is the die? The die is really cheap. I'm just gonna buy it now. Now while I'm thinking about it, so we can just fire that booster again immediately next turn. I guess I didn't need to buy that much because we're gonna produce 2.5 on our own, but we are way below replacement rate already. Not like I had the option of not buying dust. I could have just bought a little bit less and then had to buy a little bit more next time. Okay, so... yeah, let's just, I guess, hit the button. Feels like I should be doing more. This turn was so fast compared to the last one, right? Sorry, I know I'm going to be playing slowly from here on. It's not... I'm going to warn you right now, it's probably not going to get a lot better. Weighty decisions must be made. We have a lot of game is riding on the way we choose to play from here on. Alright, so I'm just going to hit that. Who did what to us? Red closed their borders. Okay. An indication, perhaps, of an inclination to declare war. Red declaring on us would not be good. It would not be horrible. We could fight them. But I don't want to fight them right now. I want to fight green. Oh, right. I forgot that I was... Alright, let's find that... Where'd that army go? They went exactly far enough south that I don't get to use my city garrison to fight them. Interesting. That said, the stalwart is still very powerful. I don't know. Hold on a second. We'll think about that. I'm betting there's no fortress down here, but yeah, okay, sea ruins, like, it's worth knowing. Do I want to fight them now, or do I want to just... I'm going to just stand here. My guess is they'll come to me, and in this location we will get Niert's garrison and the hero to get some extra XP on the hero. Okay. Chemic Institute. They also have the museum. Like, green is definitely still the victory threat. They are the most likely to win. Guiron is losing population, which is annoying. We are actually at the point of the game where we could reasonably research some security tech, make it much harder for them to keep doing this. Probably worth doing, but also I'm just going to kill them, so I'm wondering if that is maybe a better solution. Alright, we want to rush out another one of these real quick. A lot of extra dust to be had there. We do have to build the dust transmuter somewhere. So, plus 10 dust on terrain that has dust. Probably Galarath is the place to do that, right? Galarath has the largest number of tiles. And that means probably that once this is finished, it makes sense to move Jocelyn back, right? Probably the right thing to do here is, like, get all of these built, and then move Jocelyn back over here, move everybody back to dust. So buying out the central market makes a lot of sense here. It gives us some extra industry to focus on to get this stuff done, and we'll spend a lot of dust in this city in the next couple of turns. And we'll check back in a turn or two and see if the marketplace has shown us any more impressive heroes. We certainly do not have a lack of things to spend on. So I think it's very likely that minor faction army is just going to run over and attack me because they hate living. Bring 3 embarked land units to the indicated sunken ruins for 20 adamantium. You know, it's not amazing, but I could do that. Green is currently producing 4,000 dust per turn. That's not okay. Obviously, we're going to have to deal with them. They would like to have a commercial agreement with us in exchange for me giving them aqua pulvistics. You know what? This is a thing that has some benefit for me and absolutely no cost, so we're going to do it. I am not at all worried about purple winning the game. Amaroya is also losing population. Yeah, they're just going to spam the lower population action in both of these cities. There are things we can do about it. You know, there are things we will do about it. But I'm not in a big hurry. We have a lot of other things. We have a lot of things to spend dust on that I think are actually more consequential than the points of population that we're losing there. Alright, not a lot of strategy to employ here. I just don't want you to die. So go and hide in the corner. Yeah, sure. Everybody pick one and let's do this. Oh, they all want to go this way, huh? I gotta say, I don't think that that's the right move for them, but works out fine for me. Yeah, Dust Siphon is, like, pretty okay. This is a pretty good ability. Or, Soul Leech, rather. Alright, 115 dust there, plus some XP for a hero. I think we're gonna intentionally leave this village open. And we're gonna run down here and complete this quest really quickly, because there's no reason not to. And also, here in Savyal, Dust Filtration is just a single tile of effectiveness, so probably it's time to start building burrows here. We don't have any particularly huge territory to build toward. I guess building along the river toward the other river makes sense. We're not building in the direction of a big important anomaly or anything, but just like more territory is good. City's currently fervent, which is nice. We will not lose any resources by building the district or anything. Over here, we definitely do not want to rush the dust depository right away. I do want to get the National Museum finished because we have districts and stuff. Transmuter... Okay, Transmuter requires me to wait one more turn, which we shall do. Okay. It feels weird to pass with this much dust up, but we definitely want to get that Transmuter finished. And the units are coming along. We're starting to get to the point where it's reasonable to think about declaring war again. The cities now have, like, reasonable fortification and probably will not fall over to a random group of 2 units that comes running out of the fog, you know? My primary concern is just that it was going to be very hard to defend our holdings. So he's not actually currently in a city that's very dust-focused, and I'm almost wondering if I'd rather go Inspirational Leader with him. Now, we'll want to have all of these points when we do re-dust focus his city, although it's possible he'll just be working on other stuff for the entirety of the game. Somebody's got to build all the units. Now, let's grab this. Well, that's disappointing. Yeah, we'll go this way. There's a nice cluster of stuff up here. Okay, so their capital, Parandy, is up here. They have quite a bit of fortification in some of these cities. About to get Endless Mechanisms. By the way, this thing where they accumulate enough spy points, we haven't even really talked about this whole system yet, but this thing where they accumulate enough spy points every turn to do the decreased population action, very annoying. Very annoying and not really how spying works for the player. So we could build out a little bit in hopes of picking this up, but we definitely have to make sure that we're building in a shape that allows us to continue leveling districts up. I guess we could also be building this way, right? We reached out and grabbed these 3 valuable tiles. Now I'm wondering if maybe we want to build like the 2 district thick line in this direction to grab that dirt field with the clay on it. Because this district's pretty bad in terms of pickup, but the next one will be a lot better, and the one after that will be great. Yeah, and then we can still build over this way later. We are pushing this button, and then we'll bring over... we can get up to 1001. We'll bring over Jocelyn next turn, right? So I need to sell 50 dust worth of something. Well, as always, let's start with that. And then... Okay, these are up sharply. That's pretty cool. Okay, we'll bring over Jocelyn next turn. Yeah, you can move one more. I definitely want to stay adjacent to the ruin. May as well merge up. There's no sense in paying the upkeep cost for 2 different armies there. Okay. 13 dust. I mean, we're certainly working it as hard as we can. So we need to bring this army back, though, so that we're not deep in enemy territory surrounded by hostile garrisons when we declare war. I think we are getting close to the time. Also, Green has declared closed borders, so that's a little rough for us because it really restricts our movement. I'm allowed to search this ruin and find nothing in it. The open wounds thing has begun. This has very, very little effect on us and will be very annoying for Green, so that might be a good time to start making stuff happen. And we have to move like we're trying to leave, which we can do. I'm not allowed to go deeper into their territory. I have to move toward a border, I believe. Man, really? These new ruins just don't have anything in them. I don't know. It lets me. You know what? It's probably gonna forcibly boot me out at the beginning of next turn. Oh yeah. See, I'm not allowed to try and move inward without declaring war. Okay, I'm trying to leave. I'm doing my best. I thought it blocked you at the move planning stage, but it's not until you try to execute the move. Okay. Now you must use at least 3 embarked land units to take it back to this ruin. So usually, I think what's supposed to happen here is that this part is supposed to pick a different ruin, and it just didn't this case, potentially because I don't have a lot of sea ruins visible to me. Is the answer... Wait, no, the number of sea ruins I have visible is not literally 0. But the ones we can see are all far away. That might be why. In any case, here, I brought the booty back to the thing. So we've gotten ourselves some Predator foils. Gives our ships improved movement, some initiative, and the ability to kill embarked land units more effectively. And then we get to search this ruin again because of endless mechanisms. You know, that was a pretty good reward for the very little amount of attention I had to invest to it. Alright, Emeroya needs to keep building troops. We need more stalwarts here. Oh, that's beautiful. Nice, cheap stalwarts without me even having to stress about it. Alright, Galarath grabs Jocelyn Naval, and then we move everybody back over to Dust. We are fervent and producing a ton of dust in this city now. And at this point, we can start spending dust on troops and population again. I think we made the big moves we needed to make to get Galarath powerful. I believe someone told me that the hero market refreshes every 15 turns, which, assuming turn 1 is the moment of first refresh, means that next turn we should see a new crop, so we'll hold off on buying heroes for a second here. We probably do need to pick up Rare Metal Foundry. Obviously, we need Brigade System and Signal Corps for going to war, but if we're gonna, we're gonna potentially be using a new level of strategics in the war effort, we need to be getting on that. I'm sad about the extremely small amount of high-level strategics that we found so far. Like, probably it looks like this, right? And let's hope that we are able to actually get some stuff done here. Making sure that we don't have anything super pressing. Okay, so what is the next buyout? It's probably this distant stalwart, right? So that he can search ruins and start moving toward the front. And also, he's not even very expensive. And then we'll get like this and this. I'd really love to have that finished immediately since we're already dust focused here. And then, like, yeah, buy a point of population. Then this stalwart can grab these ruins as he heads toward the front, and we're on our way toward having a second functional army here. The cities are defensible, at least, if not, like, not super well defended. But I am at least confident that if Green were to turn the tide of the battle and push through our armies a little bit, we wouldn't lose a ton of territory immediately. It wouldn't be like what I did to them, where we get 3 cities in 3 turns. Okay, yep, it ported my unit out. That's fine. Not a big deal. Unfortunately, it does take all of our movement for the turn, and we are slower on the water, so it's going to be kind of annoying to get back. They would like it if we made a research agreement, so trade routes with this empire are even better in exchange for you don't have language square, you madman. So are we actually running any trade routes with them? Not right now, but we could be. A part of the fact that we're not running trade routes to them is that we don't have ocean access. Oh. Now that's interesting. But we don't have oceanic trade routes, so we need to get a cargo dock up somewhere to enable that. Yeah, it creates ocean roads used by trade routes. So that's a thing. That's a thing to think about. I'm gonna accept this. We're going to be making trade routes with them eventually. Yep, still killing my population. I'm still wounding them. We're gonna have to buy that population back up, obviously. Increase the value of trade routes as we move up toward the very important inspirational leader. You guys just need to get back on land as quickly as possible. Alright, so let's get the stalwart out here, and hopefully we can get a little bit better luck with these ruins than we got with the ones in Green's territory. Empty. And... okay, hey, look at that. 1 out of 4 ain't bad, I guess. Man, if we search this, I'm pretty sure we're just going to get that titanium shield. I think that quest always rewards you with that titanium shield. Not actually a very good reward at this point in the game. Okay, on the other hand, the Shard of Akariel is a fine, fine weapon. We don't currently have a commander who uses swords. We need an infantry hero. Just a strong infantry hero. You know, we do have to buy a second commander at some point here. Yeah, that's alright. That's not a bad pull. Shard of Akariel is pretty okay. Nothing. I'm wondering if there's something going on with these ruins. Because if we found 4 of the 5 ruins that we've searched since we got Endless Mechanisms have nothing in them. The chance to search a ruin and have it come back empty, I believe, is like... it's not even as high as 20%, I believe. It might be like 10. So, I mean, it's possible for the thing that happened to happen. Obviously, because it did happen. But it's certainly unlikely. Alright, we need to be buying troops out. We need... oh, right, heroes. I was going to see... did we get new heroes? We did get new heroes. Okay, every 15 turns does look right. So, let's talk about getting a cool Kapaku hero. Influence efficiency is not what I was looking for. I'm a little sad that neither one of these actually have good hero or good governing capacities. But what they do have is volcanology, which is cool. I guess it's not really that great. That's pretty good. Blazing Ingenuity is pretty good. Geomantic Wiles is pretty relevant in our volcanic region, certainly. Yeah, I don't know. This is okay, I guess. I'm less impressed with this than I remembered being. We could also pick up... we could pick up another Exid. Still no Broken Lords available, which is a real shame. And we have to start thinking about another commander. So, what are we looking at? Army Boost 1, Army Boost 1... Defense Boost 2 is okay. A lot of our troops have such high defense already. I'm not really impressed with that. Army Initiative Boost 2, Army Boost 1... Attack Boost 3 is certainly compelling, although I would like to get an infantry hero. There's only one infantry hero available. He's a good fighter. I'm just thinking about, like, Shard of Akariel here. Yeah, maybe we should not worry about that so much. He'd have to get to level 4, which, I mean, we could do that. You gain levels pretty quickly in a war. We don't get to see his weapon access. I guess we have an Exid the Chosen. We can check weapon access on him. Which weapons do you have, Exid? You can use one-handed swords and claws, and that's it. Okay. So Infantry Slayer or Sweep Strike Back. And of course, claws just do like really excellent damage. This is the trade-off they make for not having a typed damage bonus capacity, is that they have pretty good base damage. You know, I don't know. I don't know who wants to be... I don't know who would make a good commander for our forces. We could pick up another ranged commander, so we have another fast army. Obviously, what I'm thinking with an infantry hero is that we would eventually get Rallying Call in addition to the Shard of Akariel, but we also could just take a support hero and get Keen Observer early on instead. And maybe not worry so much about the Shard. That might be a better play. So if we were going to pick up one of these support heroes, is it just Army Boost 1 on all of them? You have Initiative Boost 2. Army Attack Boost 2 on a Cavalry hero is also potentially interesting. Because you still get the movement speed, right? You get some more attack in the tree. Get some initiative in the tree. This morale skill is great. A little late in the game to be relying on getting to the top of a new tree. I think it might be right to take Exit, like, even though we don't really need the defense boost. We might end up finding we need the defense boost, right? Because we know that Green has had access to Hyperium and the other one, Mithrite, Hyperium and Mithrite, for a while now. So he could suddenly upgrade his troops in response to our declaration of war. We may find that we need stats in excess of the ones we currently have access to. The Shard is powerful. And also infantry heroes are just good, like, in particular, Iron Taskmaster is great with our units because the amount of healing that you get from Soul Leech is based on your maximum HP, I believe. It's actually, the best way to look at that would be here. Yeah, you recover 20% of your maximum HP. So a unit that's going to give everybody a bunch of bonus health is actually pretty good. Oh, speaking of unit designs, we should redesign our units. We have access to a new tier of stuff. So like Dust Shields now. 14 defense plus 15% defense. I don't really want to be so defense focused, but I also think, you know what? No, we are at the point where we could use the other resources. Go for the 15% attack shield instead. And, of course, Dust Armor at the very least. And I am definitely compelled to equip the Dust Ring. I like the Dust Ring a lot in general, and I like it a lot on Stalwarts in particular. However, our damage really does need help. This is only 10% damage, but these guys are actually still kind of our main damage dealers. We're not really in a situation where we can use them as like heavy blocking infantry. We also need them to kill. How much extra life is this? Oh, wow. A lot, actually. Yeah, alright. We should probably do that. And we definitely, I think, at this point cannot afford to dispense with the improved movement talismans. Move you up as well. For these guys, the damage is definitely still right, because their healing is based on the damage they inflict. So, you up the next stalwart here. Make sure that we're doing retrofits. We got to make sure everybody is up to date. We're about to have a second army pretty put together, right? We can rush this guy out now. Do up another stalwart. That's 2, 3, 4 units already. Plus we actually still have like a lot of dust. We could rush another guy this turn if I can make 60 dust off of sails real quick, which we like certainly can do, right? Our strategics are coming in at quite a rate. And we are past the point where we need tons of glass steel. Most of our big glass steel moves have been made already. And we're not using it almost at all for this stuff. Alright, so we'll buy the big hero. We'll buy the new hero next turn. We are actually too low on dust to start construction of another stalwart, but like, that's ridiculous. Problem solved. Right now I'm just going one bishop per army. Did I ever actually pick up the rider design? No, I totally didn't. Well, let's throw it on there, but I think it's more important to get all this stuff running first. We definitely want to have riders. It just hasn't been right to research the design. We've had a lot of stuff going on. Okay, this turn would probably be a good time to just verify that we're going to make the threshold we need to make on influence, because it is going to be kind of close. I think what we're going to find is that we have to redevote a couple of citizens in some places to influence. Down here in Savial, we're building stuff. Let's get another district out. I mean, that would seem to be the one. One turn off of having this booster available. We're pretty close to pushing over Fervent, and I assume that will happen as we continue to... Oh no, we've maxed out our ownership of these cities. So real quick, while we're looking at it now, we should go in here and burn the food buildings. And we're totally paying a dust per turn for that. Nope, no other stuff that is specifically food here. You know, every little bit, right? Public granary does not need to exist. The city has Nyctalopian lenses. Oh man, I'm not even spending my pearls. I'm totally... There's so much stuff going on any given turn in this game. This is a big part of why I like it. But also, I'm forgetful. I did this city already. This is the city I hadn't done. Okay, so that's... We freed up, what, like 8 dust per turn there or something? 7, I guess. That's fine. We did okay. Grab you guys and merge up, and then put a new hero in charge of you, and he can search this ruin. And a little long way around here. So we'll split these guys off. The good stalwart will head up to the front, and the dredges will grab all these backfield ruins for us. So who's the guy? It's probably that Exit the Chosen. That's probably right. Even though it means we're unlikely to get reinforcement position bonuses anytime soon, I think he's probably still the call. His combat stats are good. Well, he doesn't give us an attack boost, though, right? He gives us a defense boost, which I don't really care for. We could just take Real Kata, because attack boost 3 is strong, but Real Kata's base damage is really bad. I mean, their base stats don't matter that much. The equipment is going to be a pretty large percentage of their effectiveness, no matter how we do this. Yeah, let's take him. I think he's right. And I really want access to the Shard of Icariel and to actually use the Shard of Icariel. So let's pop the new Exit the Chosen onto here. We could have used him as a governor too, but I think this is right. Let's make sure that we equip him now before I forget. For right now, Dust Shield and... It's got to be Shield and Sword, right? With the amount of ranged units we're going to be fighting. Question is, which sword? This one has more defense. This one has a tiny bit of initiative. Also, we have a crazy amount of adamantine available to us. And then, you definitely want Army Health Boost 1 and personal regen. Like, we give a Army Damage Boost 1 is probably worth taking. +4, +5% is not huge, but, like, we need damage. And then he has to wear his own improved movement thing, or else he's going to drag the whole army down. Okay. Grab some ruins out here. Hopefully get some XP for him quickly enough that he picks up the important skills. And then we have 127 dust left. Like a miracle. We probably want to save some dust for getting these up as quickly as possible, right? Especially because once we have Hyperium and Mithrite incoming, they are sources of income. Other players will want to buy them from us. And let's make sure we're going to hit the numbers we need to hit here. So we are looking at 21 something? 2160. So we need 450 influence over the next 3 turns, which we are totally cool on, right? Yeah, we're north of 150. Okay. In fact, we could probably pull the people of Inel. Nope, never mind. I never put them on influence. I thought I had. I put somebody else on influence, right? Oh, yes, Kalch. Kalch is where I did that. People of Kalch can get back to this. Or actually, you know what? They have important stuff to do right now. Let's bank up some influence. Oh, man, we don't even have a dust refinery here yet? Okay, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get done. 402... Yeah, okay. Industry is more effective for pushing the dust refinery than having them on dust would be. They are reducing the cost by more on industry. Alright. See, I really want to get these guys back to my territory before we declare war because I want to be able to do the retrofit, but man, the movement is so slow. I think we might have to... How much does it cost to declare war? We probably have to wait until after the Empire plan to declare anyway, don't we? Yeah, it's still really expensive because we're still truced. So I guess never mind. What I was going to say is maybe we should plan to make landfall on the shores of Moen and then retrofit once this territory turns orange. But I think we have to wait until after the Empire plan to make sure that we have enough influence for everything anyway. Okay, there we go. A little bit of Mithrite. That's the kind of thing I was looking for. Show me all of those good strategic resources. Well, alright. 120 dust is a pretty unexciting amount of dust. Okay, so this dredge is going to run over here. This dredge is going to go this way. And this guy needs to make it to the front. So yeah, this is a functional army already, right? We're going to have the ability to go up to 8 units in an army in probably probably right as we... No, it's going to be after we declare war. I hope that we're going to be in a position to declare war before that. Okay, 220 dust. That one was a little bit more impressive. Ah, that's blocked by the Lost Explorers quest, so we won't be able to get anything out of that unless we build us up some Silix first, which I am not eager to do. Oh, that's right. We still need to finish the National Arena. But that's not like... I was about to say it's not really critical, is it? But it's pretty important, actually. Because finishing this probably means we can take this city off of influence and make it more effective at making troops, which is a thing that we actually do need. Galarath is then building burrows, probably would be the best thing, right? Which means we have to buy some population. But these burrows are very effective, and we're going to be able to pick up a lot of territory that has dust on it, feed into the dust transmuter. Plus, this is going to level that district up, which is cool. It's not, like, super relevant, I guess. The next district probably goes here, even though that's not really good shape, just because the territory is so valuable. And then we backfill a little bit so that we're still leveling stuff up. Yeah, that seems right. I think probably the plan here is to play through the new Empire plan. Population in Alch is still too expensive. Hold on. It's too expensive by 7 dust. We can afford to buy a point of population for Kalch. Yeah, I was hoping to declare war on them a little bit faster, but I guess waiting until we have the 20% attack boost from the Empire plan is not terrible. It's giving them more time to prepare than I would like. Oh, also, speaking of college, we gotta get all those extractors up. And we gotta finish this, that's also important. So, let's talk about extractors. Also, the adamantine extractor there is not up yet. So we need Hyperium, and that adamantine extractor also should happen. How expensive are these? 1,000 each. Well, probably worth doing. Especially given the very high value of that stuff monetarily. We may not even want to bother equipping units with it right away. Well, whatever. We have guys over here whose job it is to search all the ruins. They will get it under control. Okay, nothing. Fortunately, there's a bunch of ruins over here. Perhaps we'll get lucky and they will have more than nothing in them. Red's borders are closed to me, so I can't pop over the border and grab that. We're having really, really bad luck with these ruins. Alright, so now that we're at 209 dust per turn, or influence per turn, and we're north of 2k, we can almost certainly pull this city off of influence generation and onto, hey, make me these troops a little bit faster, would you? 447 versus 671. Actually, it is more effective for troop production to have them on dust. And we can make that even truer. It probably should make that even truer. Although, is that more important than rushing these out? Honestly, the answer to that might be yes. Our troops have pretty good gear right now. You know what we should probably do, actually, is pick up rare armor as well. So we have enough gear. Yeah, we should pick up rare armor. Actually, probably should have been getting rare armor instead of rare alloys. Because the difference in strength between the uncommon alloys and the rare alloys gear is not huge. It exists. It matters, but it's not huge. I'm wondering if it would be more effective to just like get access to the other trinkets and stuff. Do I want to slip this into the research chain before all this stuff? Probably not, actually. Put it in before those guys. How much research have we done on rare alloys? So we're about halfway done with that. I'm wondering if I maybe want to reverse course on this. I know we've already sunk a bunch of science into it, but the value of rare alloys over rare armor might be... Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to correct a mistake here. I'm just going to set back our research a little bit, and now we have some science that's just sitting in a tech that we're not going to pick up right away, which is always bad, but I think it is correct to reverse course on this. Because we could be wearing fancy armor and having fancy weapons. The dust armor is definitely not as good as armor that is made out of Hyperium. And we're going to have an awful lot of Hyperium to go around. Here, I guess we just want to keep building toward leveling stuff up. Picking up river spaces is good, but the initial shape of this needs to be... We need to lengthen this line first. Although I guess this is the wrong spot, right? If we're putting down a district that's going to result in no level ups, it should be this one first, and then we build this one. Yeah, in the short term, this is a more powerful district. And then let's rush some extractors, I think. Now, let's rush some things that make money, and then we'll rush the extractors after that. So, here in Guiron, we want to rush this at a cost of 1,001, which we can totally make happen. We could sell the blood crystal, or we could try to buy more blood crystal to supplement it for the war effort. Not sure whether that's right or not. Like, we'd certainly afford to sell some of this stuff. There we go. Okay. Continue to bolster the engine, and the engine will bolster all things after that. And we are currently at 2057, so we have plenty of influence for the Empire plan, and then after that, shortly we will have an influence for declaring war. And we probably declare war as soon as possible, right? The moment we can afford it. I think that's probably right. We are certainly moving into the late game here, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous about our current development. But we're getting to the point where we have a lot of troops. Somebody else has completed yet another legendary deed. Throne of the Emperors has been built. That's not the right button. Throne of the Emperors has been built by Pink. Okay. Probably not really an issue for us. The wine's run out, and that is unacceptable. Need to buy myself 5 wine real quick here. The wine can never be out. We can never be out of wine. And in fact, we should probably just buy 10 more grass silk. And push ourselves... Oh wow, there's just barely enough grass silk for this. Push ourselves fervent, right? Like, that should happen. And then we should do this thing because it's beautiful and wonderful. How much would this be? Another 160. We could have made that happen. Yeah, but I want as many people as possible working on other stuff. So, this looks like a pretty good Empire plan, and it's going to actually move our faction quest forward. It'll be good for our war effort. Hopefully good enough for our war effort. And at some point, winter's going to fall. I don't know when that's going to be. Sure does seem to be taking its sweet time. Usually not a thing I'm super upset about. But I was kind of hoping that winter could have wrapped around before we got into this. So when we attack, I want one of these armies to be near Guiron and the other one to come in from Emaroya, probably toward Moen. We could go to Gemodge first, I suppose. But basically, I want one army near each of the border cities. Oh, right, the army is too big to merge for the moment. See out here, lots of Dakari Rangers. Can't see their actual stats while they're in the ships, unfortunately. We're still in truce status, so he can't attack us right now. We don't have to worry about that. You know what? I'm going to build another Dust Bishop. More ranged attackers. Like, when the armies are up at 8 units, probably they should have 2 Dust Bishops each. Also, man, these ruins. Oh, this is gated behind Legend of the Three. I thought this one was Legend of the Three, but this is Relic of the Past, which is pretty whatever. Was this the last turn for Relic of the Past? Yeah, it was. So I could have gotten that if I had just been paying a little bit more attention. I think probably it doesn't matter. I guess you just stay in the garrison. Provide a little bit of bonus XP to exit every turn. And with all of this dust income, we rush. Hyperium Extractors. Next turn we rush the other Hyperium Extractor. And then we're going to be we're going to be building a lot of armor out of Hyperium. Right, let's get our new Empire plan in place and see what things look like. So we're on cheaper buyout costs for buildings again. I guess that's a good reason to have waited on this extractor. But also, the one extractor being up is going to be like 3 Hyperium, right? Because of our Silix, 2.5, and every little bit does matter. Okay, also, 25 spices, hooray! Well, that was an entertaining disaster. Strangely, the golden future that the Marquis and his followers promised did not suddenly fall from the clouds. His position is weakened, and I will take advantage of that. Officially, it will be a diplomatic and military effort that will offer him the chance to redeem his honor. In fact, I sent him to pain, if not death, in order to rid myself of him and wrest the artifact from his grasp. In manipulating his downfall, one could say that I am no better than he is. But I do this for what I believe is necessity. I cannot see a future for my people on the path he has chosen. Perhaps my honor must be sullied so that the honor of my people remains pure. So be it. Vincius has aided me in preparing the ritual to separate the Marquis from his artifact, and perhaps his life. Far from the city with only a handful of followers, he will be vulnerable and subject to the same forces that he uses to drain others. I find a certain poetic justice in this, though in that sense of contentment at another's distress, I do feel shame. Perhaps that is how the Marquis started down his path. You know, I do think that's a real concern. So we need to launch a campaign to capture or destroy the city of Brahma. Of course, it had to be a red city. That really sucks. If that had been a green city, it would have been really good for us. Oh well, you know. Are we going to be able to make landfall from here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, alright, I'm going to stop and search this ruin real quick. Don't know why I bothered. I knew what was going to be in it. Alright, so you guys just hang out in Guiron for the moment. Accumulating XP. I guess we go in during the winter. Okay, defeat one of these armies for an item that is extremely irrelevant at this point in the game. Man, we have not gotten good value out of gifts, endless mechanisms at all. It's been terrible. Well, we got Breakwall from the ruin anyway, even though it no longer had the quest active. Apparently it is now very, very cheap to buy buildings, which is awesome. And pretty soon we're going to be able to keep the Empire fervent without having to spend so much on resources. And honestly, green taking these is probably good for me, in the sense that it means that I can take them easily later without having to disrupt my little cabal that we're building. It's a little inconvenient in that it means that potentially we could see green troops coming from the shore. He and Purple must have made peace, right? Nope, he's still at war with Purple, but somehow has not taken this ill-defended island city. Huh. Not sure what's up with that. Still haven't met Blue. And it still does matter, although it doesn't matter a huge amount. Like, we should figure out what's going on. Let's have this guy. This guy is now the Meeting Blue squad. Hopefully he'll be able to sail around the southern end of the continent. Actually, it looks like that's not going to happen. We can't get through Red's territory. Well, his plan can be to go to here. And then maybe just, like, see a blue unit, or maybe we can negotiate open borders with Red. Not crucial, like I said, but it is a thing I would like to happen. Alright, and I think at this point we're going to leave it off. We're going to be producing a lot of high-tier strategics, which we can use for armor and accessories, while we still use our mid-tier strategics for weapons. The difference between a Mithrite tier 1 sword and an Adamantian tier 1 sword is only about the distance between, like, Iron tier 2 and Iron tier 3. It's an upgrade, but it's not a huge upgrade, so it's probably better that we did weapons with one group of resources and armor with the other. Although, if I'd been thinking ahead a little bit more, it might have been better to do it in reverse order. Armor out of these and weapons out of these. Because we need more help with our offenses than we do with our defenses. But, ah well, that ship has sailed. That aside, I think we're ready to start marching aggressively. I guess one thing we could do before we end the video here. This is going to be less than 747 next turn. So I'm thinking maybe we do want to reassign some people to influence just to make sure that we can actually pay the war declaration cost soon. This army is going to be ready to fight in 2 turns, so we need to be in the neighborhood of the cost in 2 turns. Yeah, we're probably fine. We'll see how much it comes down between this turn and the next, and we may reassign some people to influence for the turn after that to fix it up. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. This episode was a little slow, but the next one is going to be probably extremely violent. So come back next time for that, and we'll see you then.